Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. I am Moncrieff. I am a student currently studying animal behaviour, and today I'll be introducing you to vertebrate biology and what classifies as a vertebrate. If you enjoy this video, please leave it a like and comment down below any suggestions you have on other videos you'd like me to create for you. Now, vertebrates are an endlessly fascinating type of animal, and every single one in the world is intimately familiar with vertebrates. Vertebrata, the scientific word for vertebrates, is the sub-phylum that encompasses all vertebrates and is the largest sub-phylum of the Chordata or chordates, and they make up many land and aquatic species. What many people don't know is that the vertebrate only makes up 5% of all known animal species, and there have been about 70,000 species being described at this time. Although 5 years ago there was a slightly different number, at only 62,000 species described. That means in the past 5 years 8,000 new species have been discovered that are vertebrate alone. And of these 70,000 known animals, around half are fish. So half are aquatic. Now, if I was to ask you how to describe a vertebrate, most of you, but not all of you, would be able to describe them as having a backbone, and maybe some of you would also know that to be a vertebrate that also includes having a brain case and an internal skeleton. However, there are other features that a vertebrate shares. Now, they have a molecular system consisting of paired masses, an easily identifiable head, and a central nervous system located inside the backbone. Now, although these features that have been used to define a vertebrate are important, I go further in explaining what the characteristics have been important in the evolution of the vertebrate. Now, we coexist with many vertebrates and are often quite aware of them in our lives. We see birds everywhere. We see dogs and cats in most settled areas, villages and towns, and you also have most farm animals being vertebrates, with cows, sheep, goats and pigs. We have used horses as a means of transportation. We have used carrier pigeons as a means of communication, so we have an intimate knowledge with other vertebrates. Now, vertebrates originated 525 million years ago during the Cambrian explosion. The Cambrian was a key time in the Paleozoic era, and the earliest known vertebrate is believed to be the Mylocynminga, although early vertebrates such as the Halkothes, sorry, those pronunciations were absolutely terrible, and both were found from the Chengying fauna 524 million years ago. All the groups in the era lack a jaw, and that's lacking a jaw in what we, in a common sense, assume a jaw would appear like. Now, I would like to cover a few key terms to remember when looking at vertebrate biology of any kind. Now, the first is cladistics. Now, cladistics is a method of classification used for both animals and plants. Its purpose is to identify and take in account of all the shared characteristics, of which they have all originated from a common ancestor. So, all these features they would have collected from evolution. And remember, this doesn't include those who have characteristics that arose through convergence. Now, then you have clade, which is a monophyletic group used in cladistics. So a group of animals which all share a similar characteristic. You then also have crown groups, which are the least exclusive clade, made up of only living members of a group, as well as extinct taxa which nest among them. Now, going deeper, you have Monophyly, which is a condition where a group contains a common ancestor of all members and also the descendants of the common ancestor. Then, contrasting that, you have Paraphilia, which is a condition where a group contains the common ancestor of all the members but does not include all the descendants of that common ancestor. So monophyly includes all the descendants, but paraphyly does not. Now you then move on to stem lineage. Now this is a paraphyletic assemblage of extinct taxa which aren't members of any given crown group. Now taxa that are, however, more closely related to it than they are to any other crown group. I don't know if I've explained that quite correctly, so I'm going to give you an example. Stem vertebrate lie outside the vertebrate crown group, but are more commonly related to crown vertebrates than they are to the nearest living relatives, which are the Amnioxus. Now, they are a crown group of cephalochordates, so they're not in the same sub-phylum as other vertebrates. Now, I understand that there are a lot of new terms here, but most of which you probably have never heard of before, but if you go over each one, they are very simple and rather easy to remember, especially when it comes to applying them. Now, that is everything I'm going to cover in today's video. Thank you all for watching until the end of this video. I understand I've been a bit shaky because I am still quite new at this, and if you have any suggestions on any other videos you would like me to do, please leave them in the comments down below. Hope to see you in the next video. I've apologised, I am near a road now, so if you hear any cars or anything, I apologise. I will try to edit them out, but hope you all have a pleasant day, and bye guys.